This is the Harry Loomis Show.
Welcome back to the Harry Loomis Show. Today is September 30th, 2024, and for 28 of the 30 MLB teams, the 2024 regular season came to an end yesterday on Sunday. I say 28 out of 30 because the Braves and the Mets have to play a makeup doubleheader today to decide the final two wildcard spots. If either of them sweeps the doubleheader, they're in, and the Arizona Diamondbacks would make the playoffs. If they split, they're both in. The Arizona Diamondbacks would be out. Right now, at the bottom of the third inning for the first game, the Braves are up 2-0. The games are in Atlanta, by the way. So for that reason, I can't do a playoff prediction in this video. We'll save that for a little bit later. But what I can do is talk about the state of the St. Louis Cardinals. The 2024 season came to an end for them, and I was out on this team from the beginning. I didn't have high hopes for this team. This might be the worst 83-79 team I've ever seen in my life. Not even just a Cardinals team, because they've had two other teams in my lifetime win 83 games. 2017, they won 83, missed the playoffs. 2006, they won 83 because the division was so bad they won the division. Ended up winning the World Series. That team was a lot better than this team, I'll tell you that much. But before we continue, I'm going to go back to, I think, either February or March 2024 on a podcast I did with my buddies called Unsportsmanlike Content. I went on a rant about the state of the Cardinals. Here's some clips. Here's what I had to say about the team going into 2024.
Not only do I think we go under, I think it is in this front office's, I think this is in this franchise's best interest to lose 85-90 games, like Kanan just suggested. You cannot convince me that this front office is in the interest of winning baseball games, of winning a division, the worst division in the MLB, by the way. And we're probably going to finish last again, and it might be for the best. Maybe that gets John Mozeliak out of town if fans realize that this team sucks come August, and we have games looking like the Kansas City Royals where 15,000 fans at most are showing up through the gates on a Thursday night paying their hard-earned money. Maybe that's what's going to get Oliver Marmol out of town. He should have gotten fired after last year. I don't know why the hell he's still around. You convinced Nolan Arenado that this team's going to be competitive. You convinced him to stick around when he could have opted out and gone to a hell of a team and would probably have a chance at a World Series this year. And you're walking out there, Miles Michaelis is going to be starting on opening day. There is nothing to gain from competing this season. There is nothing to gain from pretending to be a good team. This team sucks, and they should suck. And I think I would be more mad if they do what Tommy predicted and go 82-80 just to get their asses kicked in the wild card once again, when they won 93 games in 22 and got swept by the Phillies. Is the way this team is built right now, do you trust them to win anything?
So that's what I had to say back then. I think my prediction for the season was 77-85, which I thought was very realistic considering that they went 71-91. I didn't think they improved by that much in the offseason. And honestly, despite the record, I'm pretty good with that prediction. The reason why, let's go to Baseball Reference. And yes, the Cardinals went 83-79. But if you look at Baseball Reference, yes, they went 83-79. But if you look down at the Pythagorean wins-loss percentage, which is a metric created by Bill James, it basically takes into account the runs scored, or the run differential, run scored versus run against, and puts it into a formula. It basically tells you based on how many runs you scored and how many runs you allowed, the record you should have. Not perfect, but it's a pretty good indicator. By that metric, the Cardinals should have gone 76-86. 672 runs scored, 719 runs allowed. This team got outscored by 47 runs this year and somehow went 83-79. That doesn't happen. And that's a pretty big difference as well. And if you want to know how legit it is, 2023, the Cardinals went 71-91. By that metric, also 71-91. 2022, they went 93-69. By that metric, should have gone 95-67. So underachieved a little bit in 2022 based on that. This year, overachieved dramatically, and we're still the epitome of a mediocre baseball team. I think that's what this team is right now, is a mediocre baseball team. The fact that we were even in wildcard contention, the fact that we were like the second team out of a wildcard as of right now, only behind whoever misses it today, and I think the Chicago Cubs, says more about the state of the National League than it does the development or the improvement of the Cardinals themselves. But what I said in that video holds true. This kind of season, not bottoming out because you knew they weren't going to win 90 teams. They weren't going to be where they were in 2022 or even 2021. Winning 80 or so games like they did is the worst place this team could be because it was going to allow them to keep kicking the can down the road and say, yes, 23 was a disaster, but we got better. We won more games. But here's the thing. The jig is up for everyone that's not involved in Cardinals ownership, Cardinals management. Anyone that has a say in this team can tell you what's going on. I have friends that aren't even fans of Cardinals telling me your team's a mess, your team's run by morons, they're not doing what they need to do. And all I can say is, yep, that's right, they are. But it doesn't matter. They're not doing what they need to do right now because the Cardinals have announced that they're doing a press conference at 2 o'clock Central Time. I'm recording this at 2:08 Eastern Time. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. And I don't even care to wait until the end of the press conference because the big moves that needed to be made have already been confirmed that they are not going to be made this year. It's that simple. You needed to get rid of John Mozeliak, and in the process, you're probably getting rid of Oliver Marmol. He is Mozeliak's guy. Mozeliak has 1 year left as president of baseball operations. He's not going to get to pick a new guy, but if you bring a new guy in, I doubt Ollie's going to be the choice, especially when you have guys like Skip Schumacher, who's available, Yadier Molina, who keeps getting hinted at in the offseason. But John Mozeliak and Oliver Marmol will stay in their roles as changes are coming to the Cardinals. Spoke to Mozeliak today about what he said, and today about what he said is obviously going to be a shift in philosophy. There will be adjustments in front office, minors, tech, etc. More here. Links to an STL Today story. Changes in philosophy. Where have I heard that before? Mike Shildt, 2021. They fired him because of differing philosophies. Shildt came from the minor leagues. Never said what the differing philosophies were, but clearly the way Mozeliak thought they needed to do things was not right. So what can you say now? Shildt is in San Diego, and I'm not going to act like he's some world beater, like he's, Joe Torre, Tony Lewis, anything like that, but he's a significant upgrade over what we have right now. And they didn't listen to him. They fired him. Now he's in San Diego with a team that could, honest to God, win the World Series this year. They are playing fantastic baseball at this point. Good for Mike Shildt. I have nothing against Mike Shildt. I think he's a good guy. I'm happy for him. But where does this leave this team? They're in no man's land, honestly. The moves that they need to make start and pretty much end with firing Mozeliak and Marmol and then seeing where you're at with the team. If you sell off everything, I'm okay with it. But if it's these guys that are doing it, if it's Mozeliak, if it's Marmol leading that team and Mozeliak making those trades, I don't have faith in it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care what Shane Bloom is doing with the farm system. I do agree that we need to work on that we need to continue to improve the farm system because it's been a mess the past couple of years. And we keep trading away good young players that go elsewhere and blossom because of course they're going to. Because they're in a system that's going to allow them to develop properly. We are not doing that for whatever reason. Here's a quote. This is from STL Sports Central. Interesting take from John Mozeliak here. Listen to this. We are shifting to a heavy emphasis that puts it back on scouting and player development, Mozeliak said. I would say that over the past 10 years or so, we've run a lean operation, and part of that was to allow us to maximize success at the major league level. That's important. But over time, you learn that the machine can wear down. It's just not producing at the level it once did. That's not to say our minor leagues are in disarray, but an emphasis on infrastructure is something we have been taking a very serious look at. Here's the thing. Last 10 years or so, 2014, win 90 games, beat the Dodgers, Matt Adams home run off Kershaw, losing the CS to the Giants who win the World Series. Good year. You can live with that. 2015, Adam Wainwright tears his Achilles at the beginning of the year. Somehow that team wins 100 games, then gets beat by the Cubs in the playoffs, in the DS. Good year. Looks like things are kind of going down, though, because they're on the DS compared to the CS. They hadn't missed the CS at that point since 2010. 2016, 86 and 76 missed the playoffs. 2017, 83-79, missed the playoffs. 2018, 88-74, fall apart last week of the season, missed the playoffs. 2019, win 90 games, somehow make the CS, get manhandled by the Nationals. 2020, it's 2020, they lost in the wild card, weird year. 2021, you take a 17-game winning streak to barely make the playoffs, lose in the ninth inning in the wild card against the Dodgers. 2022, you win the division 93-69, looks like a team of destiny, swept in the wild card by the Phillies. Then last year 71-91, this year 83-79, missing the playoffs. If those numbers are what you are basically foregoing the minor league system for, you're a failure. The organization is a failure. The management, everything is a failure. Because if you're giving up minor league results for major league results that aren't coming, what are you talking about? You hear those quotes and you think to yourself, why is this guy not getting fired years ago? The last 10 years? We haven't won a series since 2019. We've only won one in the last decade. How are those the type of numbers that allow you to admittedly give up on the farm system? What have you done at the major league level that allows you to make a quote like that and keep your job? At some point, it doesn't even fall on Mozeliak anymore. It falls on the DeWitts, because if this is the guy and he's saying stuff like this, why have you kept him around? What are we doing? I don't know how many times I need to ask myself, what are we doing? He's coming back for a year only because he's under contract and the DeWitts are too stubborn. They're not going to fire him. So it's a punt year. That's what I said. If Mozeliak and Marmol are still here, nothing they do this offseason matters. This press conference, any trades, any free agent signings do not matter. This team is not where it needs to be. It is not making the moves it needs to make. It's not being aggressive enough to be worth anyone's attention this year. You saw what happened at the end of the season. Even though they were still in a playoff race, technically, no one was showing up. You had sub 30,000 fans in attendance on weeknight games at Busch Stadium, which is literally unprecedented for this stadium. And you're keeping the guys around just because you don't want to make a move. I could not care less about this press conference. I'm going to listen to it because I feel like I should at least do that if I'm doing these videos talking about the state of the Cardinals. I feel like I at least need to be informed. But nothing they say is going to be good enough so long as the guys that are causing the problems that have led this team down this path are still here. John Mozeliak was a great GM in the early 2000s and 2010s. I will admit it. He was very good. The team was competitive. Won a World Series. Could have easily won another. But since 2014, what have we done? We're done on Paul Goldschmidt. We are not bringing him back. The Goldschmidt-Arenado era is over. 4 years with two surefire Hall of Famers, and guess how many playoff games they won? Zero. Zero playoff games. The Washington Nationals are the team that we lost to in the CS the last time we won a playoff series. They had just had their best season since that year, and they went, let me check the notes, 71-91. And they have as many playoff wins in these last 4 years as the Cardinals have had with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. Oh, by the way, they were both MVP finalists one of those years. This team is a hot, steaming mess. Should they trade off pieces? Yeah, I don't disagree. This team's not going to win right now. Why not just sell off what you can? Sell Ryan Helsley. I love Helsley. His value is not going to be any higher. Aside from Emmanuel Clase in Cleveland, might be the best closer in all of baseball. There are some playoff caliber teams that would give heaven and earth to have a shutdown guy like that in theory. Who knows how he does in 2025. Sell him. If you can get someone for Sonny Gray, send him to a team where he could be a number 2 starter and watch him go win a World Series. Wilson Contreras, if you're taking calls on him, go ahead. Nolan Arenado, sell him as well. The only guys that I don't want to trade right now are Jordan Walker, because I still think You need to make him work. You need to make him work. If Mozeliak is sticking around for one more year, he better not go out on a note of trading the best prospect the Cardinals have had since Oscar Taveras and watching him blossom somewhere else as a 22-year-old. Keep him, keep Mason Wynn, whatever else you do, I don't even care. Because the guys that are here should not still be here. It's as simple as that. You know how hard it is to watch playoff baseball right now? You know how hard it is to watch this game that I've got up right here and realize that I care so much more about these teams, about this game, than I do about the state of my hometown team? This is not the St. Louis Cardinals. Everyone talked about this. People used to say it was a BS Cardinal way. You know, I remember Joe Madden on the Cubs talking about it, basically acting like the Cardinals were some elite, better than everyone else, have their own system and all that junk. Yeah, they did. The Cardinal way was very much a thing, and they have gone away from it in the past few years, and look at the results. Disarray. You're going back to the early 90s when Joe Torre was the manager, when the team was directionless before 96. This is not the St. Louis Cardinals anymore, and the DeWitts need to realize that. Busch Stadium is incredible. It's one of the best stadiums in baseball. Ballpark Village is unbelievable. They're making money. Don't listen to what they said in 2020 when they said the sport's not very profitable. It's profitable. If you're the DeWitts, you're making money every single year. Don't give me that crap. But you're not going to turn as many profits if you keep allowing this team to rot away. This team is rotting away right now. They should have gone 76 and 86 based on the runs they scored. They won 83 games. Whoopee! What did that get them? Like I said, this is the worst case scenario, and the people in charge of making decisions are not smart enough to make the ones they need to make. It's that simple. I don't care about money. I don't care about contracts. I don't care about any of that stuff. You know the first steps you need to take if you want to get back to where you used to be. The NL Central is not good right now. The Brewers had a great year. Good for them. They can make a run. This division is so winnable. Wild card spots are so attainable. None of the wild card teams even hit 90 wins. That's why you're only 5 games out being this bad. Honest to God, they were this bad. And we're so far from it. That's why Tommy Pham was one of the big deadline acquisitions along with Eric Fetty, and we realized about 2 to 3 weeks in that he was not going to get us where we need to go. You know what, buddy? Go to a different team, go try to win a World Series. You're not going to win it here. I don't even know what the team is doing. I don't know what they need to do, but they're not doing the things. They're not off to a good start. I'm going to listen to this press conference. I'm really interested in what they have to say, but I'll tell you this. You're going to be in for a heck of an episode when Skip Schumacher gets announced that he's managing the Cincinnati Reds, when the Cardinals could have and probably should have made a switch. Maybe he's not even going to be the guy, but you know that Mozeliak's not the guy. You know Marmol's not the guy. Why not try something? Is this what you want? 6th in attendance? That's not the Cardinals. Is this the direction that you want to go to? If it is, let me know now and I'll sign out. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you have any faith? Do you have any optimism for 2025 or this offseason? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I want to, but I can't. I cannot get myself to believe in this team, to really care about this team winning. I care about this team, but I honestly think it's better for them right now to continue to lose, just so the alarm whistles basically just go off right in the DeWitt's face. They need to. It is urgent. I don't care if they think they have another year of Mo. It is urgent. You have to stop this while you can. But they're not going to. So let me know what you guys think. I'm interested to hear the press conference, like I said. I'm sorry this went off the rails a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back here in a little bit to talk about the state of the Blues, and we'll move on. But thank you guys. We'll talk again soon.
This is the Harry Loomis Show.